Previously on Inside Video Games and Gaming, people were upset with my idea of creating a podcast network with only female hosts so that they can get their voices heard. People like Andrew Michon were upset with this idea. I'm going to start a podcast network.
Oh, really? What's that? What's the point of that?
But here I am with the third of many pilots on my new podcast network, Destroy Podcast. Enjoy.
Welcome to my show, What's Cooking with Mary. Each week I bring on a guest, and I'm not really sure how much I'm supposed to pretend like this is a real show, but
this is your show.
This is my show. Each week, starting this week, I bring on a guest and ask them about their favorite recipe, their favorite food to make. And I ask them to walk me through the recipe, maybe some stories about the recipe. Is it a family recipe? Was it passed down? Have you ever had any trouble making it? And any funny faux pas in the kitchen? The whole shebang. This week I have...
July Diaz. Hi.
Hey, July. How's it going?
Pretty good. Do you want to do the intro again so that it's like...
Oh, yeah.
Not to give you any notes or anything, just... Probably don't
Clean
say,
it up.
Is this a real show or not? Like, I don't want,
Yes. Okay, so it's like my show. It's my show.
Like, even this?
Yeah.
Like, don't just, do it. Yeah, this is your show. It's
okay.
Gonna be on my network. It's gonna be,
yeah. Okay. All right. Hello! Happy Saturday! Welcome to What's Cooking with Mary Anthony. That's right, that's me. How's everybody doing? What have you been eating this week? What's been on your plate? Huh? Well, we're about to figure out what's on my guest plate. Welcome back. This is my show where I bring on a guest weekly and we ask them about their favorite recipe, how they make it, why it's important to them. Maybe it's a family recipe. Maybe it's something they just discovered. Whatever it may be, we unpack it. We unpeel it. Now it's time to introduce my guest. This week is...
Hi, July Diaz. Thanks for having me.
Of course. So July, first, can you just tell me a little bit about yourself, and then also please tell me about your recipe that you've brought today to share.
Yeah, so just like how far should I describe myself? Like, how much should I describe? Like,
what?
How much should I describe about myself? You should tell me something about yourself. Relating to food.
Basically, just maybe who you are. Maybe if you're from LA, and maybe how much you cook.
Okay. Great.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm from LA, born and raised, lived all over the place, never on the west side, though.
Never.
No, and I've only been to the west side, I think, one time.
That can't be true. You've
no,
only been...
True. It was during, the craze of Pokemon Go, and I went to the Santa Monica Pier when that was huge.
You're born and raised in LA and you've only been to the west side once. And the only thing that took you over there was Pokemon Go?
Yes. And also, I never been to this part of town. We're currently in Hollywood until I was 18 years old.
How much do you cook during the week?
I actually cook every day. I eat the same thing every morning, which is 2 eggs and a slice of toast.
How are the eggs prepared? Because in my opinion, there's too many ways to prepare an egg.
Okay, and why do you think that?
There's just way too many ways. Think about it. Anytime you go to brunch, there's Overeasy, scrambled. Then you can say how you want them scrambled. Mm-hmm. You can get a hard-boiled egg. You can get a poached egg. There's too many options. In my opinion, there's too many options.
Okay. Would you want it to be just one option? And if you did want it to be one option, what option would you?
Scrambled. I think it's the easiest. I think it makes the most sense. Everything's mixed together. Yeah, I think that makes the most sense.
I actually think it's like not the easiest, but definitely it's more time consuming. I do mine over easy.
How do you make an Overeasy egg?
Well, it's just like in my bones now. I do it every day, so it's just like I don't even have to think about it.
But I mean, really, you just crack it and put it in the skillet.
Yeah, put it in the skillet, and then just after that point, you know how it's gonna be over easy.
I don't. But hey, and that's what you're breaking. I've never cooked an Overeasy egg.
So you're only going scrambled.
Yeah, only scrambled for me.
Interesting. Do you put milk?
Sometimes. Well, okay. Here, let me clarify. I've been non-dairy vegan.
Oh, okay.
For 5 years, so it's been a while. But when I used to make eggs, I'd put maybe a little milk, a little salt and pepper. Sometimes I would throw cheese in there.
Okay. So is this primarily a vegan cooking show?
No. This is for work.
Mm-hmm.
It's whatever you want to bring. I don't want my diet to limit whatever your recipe is.
Okay, yeah, because my recipe is definitely not vegan.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Totally fine. All right.
Is it fine? I mean, I don't...
It's definitely fine. Yeah. I feel like you don't think it's fine, but I'm totally fine with it. I'm not one of those vegans. Do you know what I mean? I'm vegan for myself, but I don't have this thing where I expect other people to be vegan or only want to be around vegan foods or vegan recipes, you know?
Yeah, because I have a friend who's vegan. I won't say his name, but it's very much like a hassle to go out and eat, because it's like, well, he can't eat anything that we're going to eat. And I'm a part of a meat club, actually. So this pertains to food.
A meat club?
Yeah, but you want to talk about the recipe that I brought in?
Absolutely. I smelled it when you walked in, the blend of aroma. I'm excited because I couldn't quite pinpoint what I was about to get into. Very aromatic, very big also.
Yes.
It required a lot of, you had a lot of pieces going. It's, so I'm excited to see what you have in store.
Well, this is my family's secret ingredient cheesecake.
Wow, secret ingredients. Now my ears perk up. Secret ingredient. Okay. Anytime someone says there's a secret ingredient, I just want to know it.
Well, here's the thing about this secret ingredient in my family is even I don't know what it is.
How'd you make it then?
Well, here's the thing. The process goes, if we want to make the secret ingredient cheesecake, we got to ask our grandma for this vial. And the secret ingredient is in the vial. We put it in the batter when we're making the cheesecake, and it just makes it taste so good.
It's in a vial?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Mm-hmm.
It's in a vial. Okay, well, that at least narrows it down to it must be some kind of extract or spice or something like that.
I don't know. Who knows? Who knows what it is? But
It
it makes it taste so good.
Okay, now why is she so protective of this? This is pretty interesting. I mean, people say secret ingredient, so you can kind of pass it down, family tradition, but to put it in a vial, to not pass it down, and to rather just give you a vial every time you want to make it seems like a bit much.
Well, here's the thing about my grandma. She's mean.
Some of them are. I'm sorry. I'm going to go off for a second. There's this thing where we, as a society, oftentimes think all grandmas and grandpas are nice. Oh, aren't they so nice? You're so lucky to have grandparents. They are not nice. Just because they're a grandma or a grandpa does not mean they're nice.
And see, I love my grandma, but sometimes when she's being nice, she's also being mean. She's very condescending in that way. Okay. I can never tell if she's actually being nice to me.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm sorry, July. That's a bummer. But yeah. I guess she did give you the vial. Has anyone ever requested the vial and not gotten the vial? Is the vial
No. We all get the vial, but it's definitely, we don't know what's in the vial ever. And even
you ever smelled it?
We've smelt it before. It's not a very distinct smell. We can't pinpoint what it actually is. It has some hints of cinnamon or vanilla or chocolate, which is the opposite of vanilla. But you would think, it wouldn't work together, but it actually works.
Also, here's the thought. What if there's nothing in the vial? What if it was just water this whole time?
Oh, because I was about to say, I'm pretty sure there was something in it.
No, I mean,
I saw
what if
some
it's like a
fall into the bag.
sure, yeah, but what if it was like, sugar pill, placebo? What if it was one of
Oh, I
those
see.
kind of deals? You know what I mean? Where you guys think it's something that makes the cheesecake taste great, but really this whole time, Grandma's been laughing with her vials full of what? Water.
I mean, it would definitely fit with, her being her persona, her just being mean to us. That'd be the ultimate trick.
The
On her
ultimate
part.
trick. Generations. That's a generational prank.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's try the cake. Let's try the cheesecake. I want to try the secret ingredient cheesecake.
Okay.
I've got a pretty good palate, so I maybe I could help pinpoint.
Now, again, this isn't vegan. So, are you going to be able to have some?
Absolutely. For my show, I do whatever I'm a professional. I do whatever I need for my show. Thank you. That is a very big slice. Okay. Can I ask, is this a graham cracker crust?
You were asking me a question as I just put some cheesecake in my mouth.
Oh God, I'm sorry. I just assumed you'd wait for the host to eat.
That's sort of like tradition with eating this cheesecake is you got to eat it quick because it goes bad quick.
Very mean, very mean grandma cake, mean rules, right? Even when you eat it. Okay. It's very chewy.
Uh-huh.
It's the chewiest cheesecake I've ever had.
And is that good or bad for you?
I think it's good.
Yeah, it gets stuck in your gums too. But it's good. It's good.
There's something that I'm trying to place. There's a taste that I'm trying to place. It's spicy, but it's sweet.
Uh-huh.
It's tart, citrusy, vanilla, getting a little bit of cinnamon.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot of things, right?
Wow. Huh. And you really don't know what the secret ingredient is.
I don't know what it is. I wish I knew. Honestly, I wish.
Okay. How long does it take to prepare this? Can you walk me through the prep and the making of the cheesecake?
Oh, absolutely. So the way you prep the cheesecake is you have to travel to my grandma's house, which she lives in Palos Altos.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
Yeah. And I don't drive, so, I have to hitch a ride there.
You don't drive?
Mm-mm.
You don't drive?
No.
Well, that's why you've never been to the West Side. You don't drive.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I took the blue line to the west side.
That makes way more sense now. Why don't you drive?
Never learned how. Don't have a license. Don't really care to now.
Wow.
I'm actually on the record as saying I am done with traveling.
Have you done a lot of traveling?
No.
What made you done with traveling?
It seems like it's such a long time to get anywhere here in LA, and it's just, and I'm not even in a car for that.
Yeah.
I'm on the bus, I'm on the train. I prefer traveling that way because I can do something else, I've been to New York twice. I've been to my homeland, Mexico, a couple times.
I lived in Mexico City.
Oh, really?
For 2 years.
2 years?
Yeah, when I was a little girl.
Was there a lot of good food? Do you remember a lot of good food?
The food was really good. We lived there in the early 90s, and my dad worked for the government, so it was really weird. They would always set us up with housing and schooling and everything through the U.S. government because he worked at the embassy. Mm-hmm. And so it was strange because we are by no means wealthy at all, but they moved us into this mansion that had this huge gate, and they got us a nanny and a butler and all this stuff. And my mom was immediately no, we don't need any of that. And it was just really strange because we still had all of our things. So we only had enough furniture to fill like a living room and the bedrooms. So then we just had this empty mansion. It was very bizarre.
Sounds like you were wealthy.
No, we weren't wealthy at all. What they set us up in this home, I guess because maybe at the time or maybe in the area that we were living in, there wasn't really like middle class options. So they put us just in this like mansion. Like we didn't pay for it. My parents didn't pay for it. The government paid for it.
Oh, okay.
And so then, but we still had our things, like our furniture and all that. We didn't have enough to fill a mansion.
Right.
So it was very weird. We like lived in this place, but we had like a living room that looked like just like our living room back home because I had our same furniture. And I still like shared a room with my sister because we had like bunk beds. And then the rest of the mansion was just empty.
I know this is like a faux pas question. You should never really ask this, but how old were you during this time?
Oh, how I was, that's not a faux pas at all. I was probably 5 or 6, I think.
Okay, so definitely not old enough to remember that your parents were probably like playing down their richness.
Yeah, but they definitely weren't.
Well, you don't know because you were 4 or 5.
Yeah, but I know as I grew up, we weren't rich. Nothing changed. My mom worked 2 jobs. She delivered newspapers. We weren't rich.
It's not like she was playing down her richness. Just delivering newspapers. That's like the ultimate cliche. Like, all right, well, you know.
No, okay.
This is a job. This is a survival job that we have to do.
Look, we're getting off here, and we're talking about my mom and my dad, and maybe their secretive identities. But the only secret we need to be focusing on.
Secret identities.
The only secret we need to be focusing on is whatever's in this cheesecake.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, I'll say this. Should I go back to like the process of how to prepare this?
Please.
So, I traveled to Palo Alto, meet up with my grandmother. We have a full-on chat for about 2 hours because I don't really, see her that often.
How does the chat go?
Well, she only speaks Spanish, so a lot of the times it's me like trying to parse out every other word. Like Spanish was my first spoken language, but as soon as I started school, it was all English. So yeah, it's something about like she's always like hooking up with different guys and stuff.
She is?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
At least that's what I'm picking up, like every other word she says.
Well, let's hope.
Well, she's always saying like muchacho y caliente.
Okay.
And I just like put 2 and 2 together. I'm like, oh, well, she's having a hot date with a man or something.
Yeah, I think you're taking some wild leaps there, but I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, couldn't she also?
Who am I to judge? I don't know. She's always been mean to us. Let her live her life.
Let her do.
I'm there for one thing only.
Cheesecake.
The cheesecake, secret ingredient.
Wow. So you go. Your grandmother talks about her maybe affairs. Me, I think she might just be saying it's hot outside. Probably. Maybe she's calling you boy.
Muchacho is that's niño. She calls me niño.
Oh, what is muchacho?
Man.
Oh. Well, maybe she's calling you man. You're a man.
I don't like what you're insinuating, Mary. You're trying to say that she finds me hot or something?
No. I'm saying it's very hot because it's summertime. And you're saying you're piecing words together. So I could see her saying something like, oh, it's so hot outside. And then, I don't know.
I don't think so. She's a cold, prickly old woman. I don't even think she can feel the temperature change.
I don't know. You're right. Maybe she's hooking up. But how? Like, where would she meet these guys?
At the disco. This is a true thing. By the way, all this is true. And I will say that my mother would always tell me stories about her mother, my grandmother, with the secret ingredient recipe, and how she would go to the disco and always meet up with different guys. And this is when my mom was 4 or 5 years old. She would bring home a different guy. This is true. Almost every other weekend, and they all slept in the same bed together. Now, isn't that crazy?
That's really crazy. That's crazy on a lot of... Yeah, that's crazy. I have to say, I think...
My mother was always in fear of her life growing up because of that whole arrangement. This is true.
I mean, of course. I also feel like if I were ever to, obviously it's different from man to woman, but yeah, if I were ever to go home with someone and their child was in the same bed, I'd just be like, I'm out. I can't. This is crazy.
And now my mom's dating a guy, got married to a guy in prison.
While he was in prison?
Currently, yeah.
Oh.
He's currently in prison. This is currently happening.
Wow. Good for her.
Yeah, absolutely. Good for her. I don't want anything to do with it.
Sure, of course not. I mean, it's their relationship anyway.
All she wants is for me to go visit and talk to this guy.
Well, he's your stepdad now, right?
See, that's like a big, bold, statement there. I don't want anything to do with this guy.
Yeah, but do you think it's going to last?
You want me to be honest?
Yeah.
No. Why would it last?
I don't know. Maybe that's what works for
You
them.
won't be out of jail for another 3-4 years.
Well, they seem to like the routine they've fallen in now.
I guess so.
I could see it falling apart when they come out of jail, like that show Love After Lockup.
Uh-huh. Oh, is that a show?
It's a show.
I've never seen that show.
I haven't either. Just my friends really like it a lot and tell me about it. But from what I understand, it's a show where people, I think similar to your mom.
If you haven't seen it, I don't want to hear what you think it is.
You don't want to hear what I think it is?
No, because then I can just do that.
What do you think it is?
Based off context of the name?
Yeah. Well, I've also had people describe it to me.
Oh, okay. You should have said that.
Well, I've had people describe it to me.
Okay.
So it's basically people like your mom. And then it's when they get out of jail. It's like, what happens? Love after lockup. How does it work? And newsflash, usually doesn't work out.
Wait, so it's like female inmates who are in jail and getting out and they're trying to find love?
No, I don't know if it's usually female or male inmates. I think it's usually male inmates, But it's like they've had...
See, this is the problem when you don't watch a show and you're trying to describe a show. You know what
I mean, I'm taking you know...
Right, of course, no one's hearing what I'm... Okay, there you go. No one was hearing anything I was saying for the past 5 minutes because you kind of had the phone toward you. Okay, we should wrap up.
Okay, well, anyways, that's a lot. Hey, have you ever taken a cheesecake to jail?
Wow, I can't believe... No, I've never been to jail. I never will go.
I was just thinking it's a nice family thing and something that's passed down. It seems like to be a connective thing for your family.
No, thank you. No, that's my mother's life. Let her live that life. Not for me.
Okay. Well, I seem to have offended you. I apologize if I did offend you.
I'm just trying to be honest with you as your guest, and it just seems like that was like a weird, last dig you were trying to do at me or something.
A dig? Of course not. Why would I dig? I got no reason to dig.
I don't know. Vegans are all the same.
Okay. See, that's why I hesitated to tell you that I was a vegan, because I get lumped in with these group of high maintenance people that I prefer not to be in. I ate the cheesecake.
I saw.
Did I say anything about the cheesecake? Did I act weird about the cheesecake?
You kind of did, actually.
Well, it's chewy. It's a chewy cheesecake, and cheesecake should not be chewy.
Well, it's a family recipe, and I ate it all my life growing up, and I think it's actually the chewiness is what makes it special. So,
you know what? Yeah. And I hope that you can enjoy it. I hope that you make your way over to the West Side. It's not bad. I hope you do take a cheesecake to jail, because do you know what they eat in there? Do you know what they eat in there? I did an episode at a jail. And do you know what they eat there?
You did?
Yeah, I did. Did an episode at the jail.
What was the dish?
It was the breakfast that they make there. And even there, they make too many kinds of eggs.
Oh, God.
Too many kinds of eggs.
You go on your egg diatribe.
It's too many kinds of eggs. But also, the food was horrible. You don't want to know what they eat there. It's not good. You should take your cheesecake there.
Fine. If I find myself at jail for whatever reason, not the reason you think.
Visiting?
Exactly.
It's as if you think I'm saying you're going to go to jail. I feel like more people would be offended by that if I was implying that you were going to go to jail for some kind of reason. I'm just saying maybe you could visit your family there.
My family?
Well,
okay.
You're...
All right, I think I'm done.
Okay. Well, you know what? Normally I like to ask for a doggy bag, if you will, of most of my guests when they come and they bring a recipe, but I think I'm good on the cheesecake.
You wouldn't eat it anyway. What does it matter?
I ate it. It's too chewy.
You wouldn't eat it at home.
Too chewy, and all I want to do now is go to a cheesecake factory and really taste what cheesecake should taste like.
Wow. I think it's very different from Cheesecake Factory, actually.
I'll back that up.
I will say Cheesecake Factory, not even actually known for their cheesecakes. That's just their way of getting you in the door.
That's the most insane thing I've ever heard in my life. That's the most insane thing I've ever heard in my life.
Oh, is it? Is it the most insane thing I've ever heard in my life is best eggs scrambled?
Well, you know what? I guess we'll just have to agree to disagree. And it looks like the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Mean grandma, mean grandson.
Wow. Oh, okay. I'm really done now. Okay?
Okay. Bye. Go ahead. Take the cheesecake.
I'm taking it.
Good. Please, take everything else you brought. I don't want it.
You wouldn't eat it anyway.
It's too chewy. Too chewy.
And see, it's because it's your veganism that makes everything taste chewy to you.
That doesn't even make sense. I have sharp teeth.
Yeah, right.
Well, that concludes my episode of What's Cooking this week. Unfortunately, we did not find out what the secret ingredient was, but I think I found out a little bit more about his secrets, which I did not want to know about. You know what? If you're listening out there at any of the jails and you happen to hear this episode and that is your stepson, I just want to let you know that I do hope that someday he comes and he brings you a cheesecake, and I believe people can change. So next week we'll be bringing on George Stephanopoulos. He's going to give us his recipe, and it's going to be a great time. I hope you guys have a great week. Eat well. Be happy.
Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog.